We provide educational opportunities for cities and towns across our state. We have probably about 295 members, and we provide, and this is what this conference is all about, and we've got a lot of new members because of the elections that we've had, and we provide a lot of educational opportunities for them. We network with each other, and then of course we do lobbying efforts with the legislature to try to get legislation passed that will help our citizens in each of our communities.
How important is the educational sessions that you offer for members?
Oh, it's tremendous just to know what to do. You get new people that are elected, and even if you've been a mayor or council person for 25 years, laws change and different things happen. So it's just, and we've got a CMO program where you go through some different levels of education. So it's about everything that we do, and that's probably one of the most important things that we do, and it's very important.
Weston Lindeman, Meridian City Council, Ward 5. I am a student at Millsaps College and the youngest elected official in the state.
Why did you decide to get into local government?
Well, I've been involved with politics for a few years now. Actually, I got involved when I was about 17 years old, just in like local party politics mostly. Worked my way up through the state Democratic Convention all the way to the national convention as a Bernie Sanders delegate. And then I worked on the Hillary campaign last year, and then following all that, I came home and decided that there was an opportunity to run and really make a change in Meridian, and so that's what I did.
What do you like so far about serving your constituents in Meridian?
Having the opportunity to meet with so many different people, a variety of people, and really hear their concerns and their voices, and then be a real representative for them.
What will it take to attract younger people to local government?
Well, I think that's a big challenge in just getting young people to vote. I think being young, that actually helps in a sense that they see that you can really make a difference early on. But I think really focusing on voter registration and education would go a long way towards getting young people more involved in the process.
But there are other acceptable reasons for them too. Our educational seminar today deals with media relations and trying to convey to public officials that the media is not the enemy. We do hear a lot these days on a national level about conflict between public officials and the media. But in generally speaking, in most cases, local media is a partner with local officials in working for the betterment of each community.
What advice do you have for local officials?
Well, I would say know your local media. If you haven't had a chance to visit with them one-on-one, I would seek them out and spend some time with them, either prior to a public meeting or calling on them at their place of business. In most cases, a cordial and professional relationship will evolve from that, and it makes working on both sides of an issue easier in the future.
Our program today deals with festivals, and it's an economic development tool, and we wanted to make sure that our officials understand how important it is and what their role is to help the community to put on a festival.
Give us an example of the economic impact for a typical festival in Mississippi.
Columbus is a great example. They average somewhere between $1.4 million to $2.6 million in revenue during that weekend. Have over 40,000 people come to the Market Street Festival.
What's your advice to local officials?
To get involved and to be a part of the festival planning and to provide in-kind services as well as sponsorships.
Our educational series today is on the opioid pandemic nationwide, along with the epidemic statewide.
How serious a problem is this?
It's very serious. We're soon to be hitting numbers that possibly could be insurmountable with the infrastructure we have in place to treat this.
What can local communities do? What can elected officials do?
Partner up with their local community-based organizations, local clergy, any stakeholders in the community that even show some glimmer of interest in taking on this fight.
Give us an example on why this is such a problem and why it's grown so much.
Well, that's a loaded question. It deserves a very long and thoughtful answer. The bottom line is, anytime you tie up bureaucracy with health care and other forms of non-strategic modes of helping people, you run into issues like this. Years ago, we had situations where physicians maybe were forced to, in some ways, prescribing practices that maybe they weren't even comfortable with, which has now led us to that backing off, which has now led to a heroin epidemic, I would call it, on top of the regular prescription drug epidemic.
How serious is this in Mississippi?
It's very serious right now. Some of the numbers are astounding. In 2016, PMP, Prescription Monitoring Program, actually reported that for every beating heart, based on 2.9 million residents in the state of Mississippi, that we had 1.7 prescriptions, or excuse me, 1.08 prescriptions written, opioid prescriptions written for every beating heart.
I am a first-time alderman. Came to this convention to get to know all the laws around my duties and responsibility in representing my municipality.
What have you learned so far?
Great information in the basic session there for first-time aldermen. A lot of things about the form of governments, a weak mayor and a strong mayor system of government. So to help me to make good decisions based around what's going on in our town.
I'm a first-term alderman from Decatur and came to MML to find out some of the basic information of the responsibilities of the position.
What have you learned so far?
First session on the organization is very helpful in understanding the role and responsibility of the mayor and the council.
What do you want to learn about local government while you're here at the convention?
Particularly interested in looking at law and finance, and we'll be attending the 2 sessions on law and finance.
I've just been elected councilman in the city of Laurel. This is my first MML convention. And so far I've learned just the structure of how city government works, and just trying to soak up as much as I can, take back to serve my people as well as I can.
What is it that you'd like to learn during all these educational courses?
Well, just the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts of being a councilman. Just that way I can know how to further carry out my duties.
I just became elected mayor of the city of Fayette, Mississippi. I'm here today at the municipal conference to get as much information as I can to better my community and try to link up and make some resources to get some things going and moving forward in my town.
What are some of the educational sessions that you plan on attending?
Well, I plan to attend every session that I can that's going to be available to me. So I'm kind of new. I don't know a whole lot about the conference, but I am going to attend all the sessions that I can.
These classes are very helpful. The things you say and do are, that's beneficial to the city. And if you're not aware of the laws and bylaws that go along with it, then you can get in trouble. So, the things that they do, they're very professional here. We learn a lot through our classes. I just got my professional development. I've enjoyed every single class that I've been in. Hadn't had a bad class yet, but I've been with the city of Farmington going on my 3rd term, and so we really enjoy coming down here.
What are some of the big issues facing your city and other cities across Mississippi?
Just development, trying to get industry in. That's our main thing, trying to get some industry in, trying to develop. Right now working on a 24-acre city park. We have people in surrounding cities that don't even have a park as big as ours, but we've got the available land, but just getting the funds to improvise to be able to move this thing forward. And that's what we're trying to learn down here, who we need to talk to and what we need to do to get it moved along.
I was just elected alderman, and I came here to learn the inner workings of a city.
What have you learned so far?
So far, I have learned that the mayor and the board make decisions for the city, and also the difference between the towns and different municipalities.
What is it that you want to learn during the course of all these continuing education programs?
I want to be a sponge, just learn everything I can in order to help my city.
I've been coming here 8 years now, and really I done graduated from every level, and I learned that you can learn a lot and take back to your city, and you can learn and grow from this MML conference.
Well, this is my 20th year to attend the MML conference, and just over the years, I think a lot of it is the fellowship and that you have with other people that really face the same thing that we do in our towns, and a lot of good information that we pick up here at our conference.
Our city is rather small. We only have around 2,000 people, and we have lost businesses in the past few years, including a car dealership. But we are trying to survive with what we have, and we have just recently done a water rate increase. But other than that, being a small town, we're just trying to survive on the resources that we have.
What would you like to see happen? What kind of assistance would you like to see for small towns like yourselves?
Well, I would like to see a lot of infrastructure changes to where we can have, employment in our town. Our two biggest employers in our town is our school and a hospital. And I would love to see a factory of some sort come to our town to, give local employment and increase there also.
How many years have you been coming to MML, and what have you learned from the educational sessions?
I've learned a lot as far as, tax structures, keeping the municipality to where, it's a nice place for people to live. We want people to enjoy living in our town.
This is my first year that I'm newly elected alderwoman in Gloucester, Mississippi. I came because we wanted to learn more about the grant programs. We have a newly elected board and mayor, so knowledge is the key, and we need to learn everything we need to know about the city and what programs that you guys have to offer.
How valuable have these educational sessions been for you?
It's very valuable because you learn about the legality of the situation, and also you learn more about what programs is out there and what's available for your town.
Some of the biggest issues is growth, our infrastructure and maintaining, keeping up, because we're constantly growing, and just keeping up, and then technology too, just keeping up to speed with everything, future growth.
Tell us, what have you learned by coming to these educational sessions that have helped you become a better alderman?
The most important thing, I guess, is meeting with other council members from other cities, and they're facing the same problems we are, and they may have tried different strategies that we hadn't even, or maybe even ideas we hadn't even thought of. Seeing what has worked, what hadn't worked, stuff of that nature is very, very important. And
tell me how valuable it is for you to come to these educational sessions.
It's very valuable. I have always tried to attend all the classes I can, and will continue to do so.
A lot of things that face in our city is some houses that's got a blight to it that we need to do something about. They're not as good as they ought to be, and we gonna have to take some type of action in order to bring them up to code to where they should be.
Tell us, how many years have you been coming, and what have you learned at these educational sessions?
I've been coming 12 years. I've learned a whole lot, how to regulate your water, how to deal with people's different problems that we have within our city, and how to grow our city.
I just became a city councilman in Gulfport for Ward 2, and I came here to learn some of the basics of municipal government.
What have you learned so far?
Well, I've learned some of the basics of the mayor council set up for every city, which is one of the main, that's what we operate under. So I have learned so far that that's most popular for the bigger cities in Mississippi.
What other educational courses do you plan to attend?
Well, anything to do with the legal aspect and the ethics aspect and the financial aspects. 3 more. I got 3 more big ones I need to attend.
I'm the first-term mayor of the town of Woodville, and I'm here to learn more detailed information as far as my role and responsibilities.
What have you learned so far?
I want to learn more about the roles and responsibilities of the mayor and the aldermen.
Tell us how have you found the information so far?
Well, it just started. I only had 1 session, and so far it seems like to be very detailed information. So it's going to be it's going to be very beneficial to me.
What's on your agenda for the entire 3 days as far as bits of information that you're looking to learn about municipal government?
Basically, the finances and the law.
I've just been elected mayor. I came to learn everything. I came to learn about my charter. I came to learn about my laws. I came to learn how to help my city be the best city that we can be.
What have you learned so far?
Well, so far I've been in a class for about an hour, and I've learned about the different charters, the different council systems of government. That's about all so far.
I've been coming, this will be my 3rd term coming to the MML conference. I've come every year. since. I've learned a lot about town and our communities, how to conduct business in our communities. It's been a real blessing to me, and I think the opportunity for the MML to give us the opportunity to come.
What are some of the big issues facing your city and other cities across Mississippi?
What's facing our cities is, I would say, a lack of resources to be able to get the funding that we need to help build our communities, to be of support even to our citizens, our streets, I would say dilapidated buildings, homes, and that's what we're looking for our government to help us to be able to accomplish.
I'm newly elected as of a month ago. And I would just like to be able to learn more about businesses in Mississippi, what other people are doing, more about, taxes and things that go along with the city that, when you get elected and you're not used to this, that just gives you more of a working relationship with other people and to hear the speakers.
This is my first time coming to a MML convention, and I came to learn more about development, leadership, and about the laws.
What have you learned so far?
I learned so far, he was talking about the different things that the mayor and the alderman, can do in different meetings. So it's been very helpful so far.
What's on your agenda? What would you like to learn while you're here?
Well, I want to learn, I want to learn some about the grants, how we can do things better in our city concerning the roads and, to better the city, development of the city.
We're from a small town, so we see just a lack of interest in growing, and so that's one of the things in a small town that we see.
What about infrastructure? How important is that to your city?
Oh, it's very. We have a small town that once was people dug their heels in. Now we're seeing the grandfather and the grandmother's homes turn into rent homes. We're a new board, and so we're trying to figure some things out to see kind of what we need in our small town, to see it grow, to see people attracted to it, to see people want to stay. So we just want to kind of make good decisions with what we have. But right now we're just trying to really just kind of come together as a group to see what we're really needing to put our energy and focus on right now.
Actually, I came here to actually learn about community development and then what you could actually bring to the city from which you are from and representing. So I'm very delighted to actually be here. And one of my goals is to really take what I've learned and take it back to the city, which I'm representing, and see how I can implement it and make our city a better place to actually live and progress.
I'm Gus Black, and I plan on coming to the round table on the issue of community and economic development, and attended to see how we can build our community and bring more economic benefit to our community.
How beneficial are these educational sessions?
This is really a great thing for a new alderman or mayor or anything, because we don't have any mentors and a mentor program in the majority of the cities to somebody mentor you and teach you what you need to know or help you along the way.
Vacant and abandoned properties are always a big one. Infrastructure, updating the water and sewer, that's a constant.
What would be helpful for cities to deal with these issues?
Money. It always comes down to money. Legalities in the vacant properties and abandoned properties and all, and we're putting some teeth behind it in our town now. We're putting some fines on there. We're assessing it to their taxes now. So we're making headway there. As far as the water, sewer, it comes down to money and grants available and all that.
How valuable are these educational sessions that the league offers?
Oh, they're invaluable, especially to our new aldermen. We've got 3 new aldermen on our board. We have one that's only been there 4 years and one about 1.5 years. So it's a new board, and especially these basic CMO courses are an absolute necessity so that they'll know how to do what they're expected to do.
How valuable is attending this convention for you and for others?
It is valuable. Even if you are an attendee, year after year, you're always going to learn something new. Laws will change from year to year, and it is invaluable.
We just got out of one dealing with municipal law, and I needed to learn as much as I can concerning the law aspect of it. And also, I attended one this morning dealing with vacant property that needs be some upgrades and some information on how to do it, how to proceed towards getting that property taken care of, and what we could turn that property into using funds from the government.
How valuable are these educational sessions?
I think they're very valuable, especially for someone such as myself that's just got elected.
Well, as a first-time elected official for the city of Houston, I felt it was important to be able to get some information to help me better serve my town and my citizens and my city. So,
what have you learned so far?
Well, so far I have participated and learned more about the different types of government settings. Not all cities are ran the same way. I also learned more about vacant land use, dilapidated properties, and some things that you can do to help put more back into your community. So,
how valuable is this for you as a newly elected official?
I found it to be essential because it helps bring other ideas from other what other cities are doing and other towns are doing that may be something that we could try. It's innovative.
I think number one is economic development and infrastructure, recreation in my area as well.
How important is infrastructure when it comes to attracting jobs?
If you have infrastructure, I think you can build on infrastructure, because if a development comes, like the departments, housing, infrastructure should come first. If you have that, I think you can get the building there.
How valuable are these educational sessions that the league offers?
They're most valuable. I missed one already. I'm trying to make up for that right now. So we're going to get some young men that just come on, and we're scanning through it now to make sure we don't miss these sessions and get them done the basic training and get certified.
What have you learned coming to these sessions that has made you a better mayor?
Well, this is my first term as mayor, but as an alderman, getting certified, you become a certified municipal officer if you stick with it and get the hours and get the credits and learn what you need to do to be an officer for the city.
Different things with the city, the budget, how to run a city, how to interact with other leaders, other communities, and to get new ideas in the network.
What have you learned so far?
I've learned some things about what communities are doing with abandoned properties and different issues with taxes and changes that can happen, and some things about the fire department that normal citizens can learn. Those are 2 classes so far.
How valuable is this educational opportunity?
Very valuable. It's the one place where we can all come together, and the brand newbies get to interact with the people who've been in office for 20 and 30 years. So we get to bring new ideas. They get to tell us what's been working. So you don't fix what's not broken, but you can bring new ideas to the table.
I think every city deals with kind of the same thing. I mean, we worry about our school system, making sure that our kids have the best possible education in our public schools. We also worry about infrastructure, not just streets, but also water and sewer. And finally, our city is concerned with trying to retain young talent. Hattiesburg has 2 universities. We churn out a lot of college graduates, and our challenge as a city is to try and keep those graduates contributing to our economy and our job market and becoming our future homeowners and leaders.
Tell us a little bit about what issues did you come here as a first-time mayor to learn about?
Well, I think that as a first-time mayor or first-time alderman or whatever your position is, I mean, there are basic things about how municipal government works that you need to know. I think there's also some very innovative approaches to issues that we all deal with that we can all learn from these kind of programming as well.
This is my first year as an elected official, and I come here to learn the ins out of government and just to make a difference. And this has been an experience, and I'm enjoying it. Information is having abundance of information, and basically all you have to do is just listen and absorb it and network. Network's the key to everything, so we're trying to do the network and get it out there and see could our city be a part of the change that's going on within Mississippi.
I think in small town Mississippi, it's all about the same. The blight's a big problem. The money is always a problem. But you just have to find solutions and to do those things.
How many years have you been coming to MML, and how valuable are these educational sessions?
You get some. You learn a lot here. The education just is very informative. That's what you learn other people's problems and maybe how you can handle them in your town, and that helps.
Well, our city is a small town. We don't have a grocery store, and we need to give them infrastructure. Our cities, we need to be suffering for leadership, and we get some good information about how to build town and build trust in each other. And it's very important to have a board that will work with you. So it's been a very experienced process, and we learned a lot from this meeting we can take back to our city.
The financial ad valorem taxes are starting to be a little bit less. Therefore, the cities are losing a little bit of their tax revenue income monies, and without economic development, stuff like it is, it's hard to continue to grow your city with the taxes being decreasing all the time.
What have you learned here at the conference that you'll be able to take back home?
Well, what I've learned today is that there are agencies like the MDA that you can speak with, ask questions to, get answers, and do teamwork to promote your city all on the same page.
I came to learn the business of running the city, and it's never been elected before to anything. You have ideas about, well, I believe I could do it better if I was there, and I just have a lot, I think, to contribute, and I want to get involved in it and hopefully make it better.
I am newly elected alderwoman for the town of New Augusta, and I'm learning planning development, financial incentives, things like that.
How valuable have these educational sessions been?
Very much so. I've learned about a lot of programs that we have access to, and I think it'll be very beneficial for us.
I've learned a lot, so hopefully I'll take it back to Moorhead and be great, do some great things with it.
This is my first term here in office down from Senatobia, and I didn't really have any expectations coming in. Just kind of be an open book and just absorb as much as I can.
What have you learned so far?
I've learned that we in Senatobia face a lot of similar problems that communities in Mississippi do. I mean, Senatobia is just like any other town. We have vacant buildings, a seminar I just left out of, that everybody, problems everybody faces. So it makes it easy when you talk to other people and try to bounce ideas off of other folks. First seminar I went to, we were at the fire department. We learned a little bit about some of the stuff that they've got going on, issues that they face, how expensive equipment is, and just the bottom base layers of equipment's astronomical out the roof type expenses. So, but anyway, it's been good. I've enjoyed my morning so far. So we'll see what the rest of the week has to hold.